You are now listening to Femme podcast with Tessa Markle
and Carolina Alvarez.
Femme.
Hey, Femme. Welcome back for our next season.
Yay, we're here. We're doing it. It's so crazy. Season 3.
I know. I can't believe it.
Started this podcast like the beginning of this year.
Yeah. I was actually on the drive here listening to season 2 because I was like, well, it's all out there, but like I want to listen to it all, make sure we didn't miss anything, make sure it's all good, right? And I'm like singing along with our opening song that I don't know anything of what they're saying.
I love it. Actually, that song, like I was jamming to it when I first found it too. I'm like, I love this. So I hope you guys aren't sick of it.
Does anybody speak French? Like, does anybody know what the lyrics are?
Yes, please comment on Apple Podcasts.
It just sounded cool.
Oh my God, what if it's something like really pervy and we had no idea? Because
I will just laugh really, really hard. We're not removing it. I will just laugh.
Especially because at the end, that's me, guys, going like,
which, by the way, was hilarious to try to record. Oh my God. We had this, like, I don't know why we thought of it, but we were like, femme. Like, that'd be a cool little thing to have at the end of our little, like, jingle.
Yeah, like,
but, oh my God, recording it, like, trying to find the right, like, I don't even know.
We didn't want it to be, like, super porn star sounding. And then at the same time, like, you know, we wanted to have a lift, like, you know, like, sexy.
Yeah.
We were going for sexy. But, yeah, I don't know. You tell us what you think.
Yeah. Speaking of telling us what you think, we have mentioned, right, if you leave us a comment, we'll give you a little shout out. And now that we're into season 3, I think it's finally time to read some of our comments.
Oh my God, we have 5 stars. What?
I know.
Why are we so cool?
But before we do, first of all, thank you guys for the ones of you that have reviewed and commented.
Yes.
And for the rest of you, I'm still waiting.
I love like Tessa's like other character comes out, this ultra ego of like, I'm waiting.
Yes.
I love it.
So let's take turns. I'll read off the comments. So first commenter, Adam Moses. I think I know which Adam that is. Shout out. He said, love it. 5 stars for filmmakers just starting out. This podcast has it all. Information, application, inspiration, and humor.
Aw, thanks, Adam. We love you. And then this is from Sergiusz, which is my uncle's Polish nickname, but it's really my brother, so thanks, bro. But he says, I love listening to your experiences with the film industry and what goes on in starting up a movie production company. Love the variety of topics, and I dig the chemistry between you two. Keep it up.
Yay.
Thanks.
Oh, we've got chemistry.
What?
This one is from Chris Capsha, who has been on our podcast, season 1, if you haven't listened to his episode.
Guys, gotta listen to him.
Yes.
He's great.
He says, yes to Femme. I had such a great experience with both Tessa and Carolina being a part of their podcast. They created a comfortable environment and are super down to earth. They're open to learning and want to pass along that knowledge to others. A great team. Thank you, Chris.
We love you, Chris. This is Snyder David E. A+. Yes. Femme Regard is perfect podcast for up-and-coming filmmakers who simply need a nudge in the right direction. You're in good hands with Tessa and Carolina.
Yay.
Aw. Thanks, Boo. Thanks.
And then Foxtrot Madly, who I was just texting. That's funny. He says, enjoyable and informative. It's nice to listen to people in the industry that know what they're talking about. I'm glad somebody thinks we know what we're talking about.
Oh my God. Thank you. Validation needed. Succeeded. This is from
TM Nisbet. So that's Tyler.
Tyler.
That you're
Tyler
color correcting
Nisbet.
for currently.
Very informative. Really well done podcast with great guests. Tessa and Carolina are both awesome hosts and keep the show entertaining. Definitely recommend.
Yay. And then last but not least, we have the Lonely Sculptor, who says, amazing. Absolutely love this podcast. So see, guys, take 2 seconds, like just write something cool about us. No, but like, I mean, this whole podcast thing has been a journey, you know, It's trying to figure out, first of all, what you're going to talk about, who we're going to bring on, if they are available and want to come on, and, you know, just figuring out the whole format of it and then getting it out there. But we've really had a blast, and we're just really thankful for you guys so far.
And we want to also just give a huge shout out to Mike at the Network Studios here in the lovely Culver City. He's been an amazing, tremendous help, very knowledgeable, and I really couldn't
We couldn't have
couldn't
done this without
him.
him. Yeah.
No,
So if
no.
you are recording a podcast or need to do ADR, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do here. Highly recommend.
Absolutely. So, yeah, podcast. Well, we'll have to do a little podcast thing majigger sometime. But
Like a
today,
What do you?
no, I mean, like, if you want to do it, but you know what? No, F
Oh,
that.
how to do a podcast?
Yeah, like how to
Oh,
do that. Like,
yeah.
oh,
That could be
hey,
fun.
you know, Mike, you want to come on the show?
Yeah, we might have to do that.
We'll bring we'll do hottie toddy.
Yes.
On the show. We'll bring back our tea. Our tea game, man.
Yeah, we slacked today. So you guys are listening to this at your own leisure, but today we recorded 2 guests and we have 2 of our episodes. So our guests were call-ins from East Coast and middle of the middle America. So we didn't have tea today,
and my voice is hella raspy from all this wonderful allergy season. It's been bad here, y'all. I can't do it. But yeah, I guess today we're gonna just talk about.
It's kind of a general topic. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of just general filmmaking, creating your own films, which I know we've touched upon before, but like there's so much more to get into. So yeah.
And the challenges, I guess we'll focus on a little bit of how do you do it when you're wearing so many different hats.
Yeah.
Because
you have to with independent film, like unless you maybe if you're lucky and you come from film school, so you have a lot of contacts that know what they're doing and still are willing to work for free, like, and that's still a big maybe. But
yeah,
most of the time if you're creating your own content, you are writing it, or at least writing it with someone else. You or someone close to you or close to the project is directing it. You might be acting in it. You're definitely producing it on, like it's so much you have to take on yourself.
100%. And that is definitely like the road of the independent filmmaker. And it's also really, so I would say if you haven't listened to our previous seasons, the reason why we are talking about all these various topics is because you're going to be wearing a lot of hats, and you should try to get as informed on the many different roles, even if you're not doing them, but knowing what that role looks like. And I mean,
yeah, because we had talked a couple times last season about like, even if you're not doing specific jobs, say it's DP, but you are directing, you need to know how to talk to that person. And you don't need to know every technical term and all that, but like you need to know how to make sure they understand what your vision is, so you have to have an idea of what they're doing, what is expected of them, what, all that kind of stuff.
Because the more specific you are, the more you're going to get your vision to life. And also just even from a financial perspective of as far as who you're hiring, why are you hiring them, and what are they going to bring to the table, and what should you expect, because then you end up paying for more or not paying for things that you might need. And that's huge on a set.
Yeah, I mean, the more you know, the more you're going to be able to have control and do it efficiently. If you know that, okay, I definitely need an assistant director, but maybe I don't need, a second unit director, whatever. Like, you're going to know who you need, what kind of equipment you need, where the money should be going, and how much you want to spend on each of these things. And, if you're doing your research on cinematographers, so you have an idea of how much a day rate should be for a professional cinematographer, of like the level of professionalism that you need.
And are they not?
Exactly. I mean, making your project SAG, is that worth it? Do you need to do that? How much is that going to cost? And the more you know, the better prepared you're going to be. Absolutely.
Exactly. And it can get intimidating when you feel you don't know the space so well, and someone's coming at you with things or demanding pay for things, and you're like, hold up, no, you're cool, like no. So it just puts you in a position of power, and in a way that you can own your stuff, and that's what you on set, you want to be able to own every aspect of it, and
you're gonna learn a lot on set too. I mean,
that's the whole thing. We're talking about just diving in and making mistakes, and that's part of the journey. And you can't just also let yourself from not knowing everything tie you up from taking those steps forward.
Exactly. Got to start somewhere. You're going to learn whether it's you doing the research beforehand or on set. But yeah, the more you know beforehand, the easier it's going to be for you at least.
Right. And then it's like, why create your own content? I mean, we did it for, getting ourselves some acting exposure in roles that we feel really passionate about and
Mhm.
stories we feel really passionate about. And I think if that's like the bug that's in you, you need to fulfill it. Like, go
Mhm.
for it.
I mean, I feel like I moved out to LA like 5 years ago, and I feel like the very first thing I started hearing was like, you want to act? That's all you want to do? You still have to make your own content. Like, we
Mm,
live in a world right now where it's
mm-hmm.
like, you need to get that exposure for yourself by making your own stuff, even if it's a web series that you're filming on your phone, even if it's you being in like a, quote unquote influencer or whatever, like on YouTube or, like just getting yourself out there with stuff that you've created is going to boost your career so much, because otherwise you're just waiting around and hoping that your agent's getting you auditions that you hope you book based on
Right.
like what is on your resume. Nothing. You know what I mean? It's the world we live in.
Exactly. And it is so much more powerful for you to say, yeah, you've produced and done all these things
Hmm.
because they know, oh, they get it. They get what
Hmm.
it's like on set. They get the kind of lingo that goes on, and that will also self-serve you more
Hmm.
than just being one thing,
Yeah.
whatever role it is, you know.
Plus, like, you just learn so much. I mean, even if all you want to do is act, and so you decide to take on those other roles to create, maybe one film or something, just to have something of your own out there, you're going to learn so much that's going to benefit you even just as an actor on other sets, because you're going to understand like, what does the cinematographer need from you, because
Mhm.
you've now, directed and saw that the
Mhm.
cinematographer needs the actors to stand this certain way in the light. Okay, I get that now. I'm going to look for my light, and just you learn
Right.
so much from so many other jobs that can benefit whatever specific job it really is that you want to
100%. Hundreds in the club.
do.
Um, and I guess right now, since we're wearing a lot of hats, I
Hmm.
guess we can definitely say it is hard. It's very hard.
It's a lot of work, you
It's a
guys.
lot of work. So just be prepared, but you know, it is a job that you got to do. I mean, at the end of the day, hopefully you're doing it because you love it, and
Hmm.
that is what keeps you going. But it's a job, y'all. You got to show up for it every day. I'm trying to do that with my writing. I'm trying to just treat it like a job. I got to do it every day. I got to
Hmm.
make sure I put in that time. And whether that's like you trying to film something on set, there's so many resources and ways, like Tessa was saying, like just making content.
Hmm.
It is really easy to do that nowadays. So
Yeah.
if that's what you want to do, you don't have to like think, oh, I have to do big budget stuff all the time, or even, small budget stuff. It can
Hmm.
literally be just, let me shoot this thing on my iPhone
For
and
YouTube
for
or yeah.
YouTube, for Instagram, and you can create awesome content that you can start to get, like, I mean, just be you can be creative and smart and still brand it to make
Hmm.
it yours,
Yeah.
it's an awesome time we live in that we can do things like that. So if that's I am now like a huge believer in just, yeah, getting that done daily, and I
Hmm.
feel like I'm trying to implement that too in my performing world. I'm still trying to find that because I miss like going out
Yeah.
like and getting that. But with my writing, it's something I also feel very creatively fulfilled, but I have to treat it like a job even
Hmm.
when it's yeah, yep, it's a
Yeah.
fun time. So that would be my 2 cents on what you can do for yourself, so you're not waiting around even for a budget
Hmm.
for, because it takes time. It
Yeah.
totally, there's,
And there's,
you
like you
know,
said, there's little things you can do every single day for whatever it is that your passion is, whether it's writing, whether it's acting, like, whether if you're not out there making your film, it doesn't matter. You can be doing something. And yeah, treating it like a job, I think, is a great way to look at it, because then it's like, even if you're not in that creative mood, hey, you're still getting something accomplished that's going to help you, because it is rewarding in the end. Like, even if you make a crappy first short film, whatever, like it still feels good to be able to say,
I
hey,
did
I did
it. I
this.
did it. And guess what? get ready for the next one the next day.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would say. It's like, okay, you finished that script, great, start another one. You finished that movie, okay, great, start another one. Because you're always, I people maybe sometimes get stuck in like analyzing everything, and it's like, yeah, I think by the end of it, like already like where you stood on like how well or not well it went, and so just don't get caught up like, okay, that's cool, my next one's gonna be better.
I mean, like our first short film, Natural Selection, like we went into it, I mean, it was like we had to get everything done, 1 day of filming, 1 week of editing, like that was all we had, and at the end of the day, like it wasn't the best quality film, we know that, but like we had such a good time and we were so proud of it and so happy to have the people involved with it that we did, that like it felt so good. It didn't matter if it was top notch, like, and it's like that's such a rewarding feeling to be like, hey, I made this all by myself. I created this, with my team, obviously, but like you didn't go to a studio. You didn't get, like, you did it yourself. And that's such a good feeling.
Yeah, no, thanks for taking that back there. That's so true. Like I remember that same thing. I'm like, wow, that was awesome. That was a lot of work as always. It always is going to be, but like connecting with the actors and making something was just so amazing, and that's why we do it.
Exactly.
We live for that.
Exactly. That's why we do it. Like I have people ask me like, how can you be an actor? Like that's so much rejection, that's so much uncertainty, and it's like, yeah, but and that stuff, it sucks, like it's super stressful and whatever, but like the payoff is so worth it. I mean, hey, when I'm up there getting my Oscar, it's gonna be worth it.
It's gonna be worth it. So I think that's when you have to really do some soul searching if you're battling I don't know if it's can I tell everyone about my inspiration for the week?
No, go ahead,
because I feel like it's totally suitable. So this has been a great audio book ride for me. It's a normal book. It's called The War of Art: Break Through the Blocks and Win Your Inner Creative Battles by Stephen Pressfield. And it talks about just that, like what are the blocks that stop you from doing what you want, whether it's a writer trying to get their novel done, performer, a painter needing to paint, or whatever it is that you're trying to do. And I think it's easy to, if you yourself, I think, and this is what I'm trying to come back to, is like you yourself feel like, oh, I need to make a film, but every day, like, you are like, I'm tired, I have to do this and that. That's one example of a block. But if you need to be doing something, then stop making the excuses and just do it. And I love that this audiobook talks about the many different kind of ways that we use our personal lives, our fears, our doubts, to really stop us from just taking those steps forward and doing the work every day, or whatever you got to do to get something done. And it's like a really good, it was very inspirational. It was a great pep talk on my way to work, may I say. But yeah, the resistance is what they talked about. I always think about, was Star Wars the Resistance? No, what was it? But I always I don't know why I always pictured the evil Warcraft. I am so bad at that stuff. But it's so funny because it's like you're really being honest with yourself. You're like, what excuse am I making to not being able to fulfill my dreams? The thing I always am like so upset about it, and like, because I'm not doing it right. So like I would encourage anyone to just give yourself an honest pep talk if you think you're a little bit stuck and not in that world. Like, what is it that what excuses am I actually making for myself to like prevent me from moving forward? Because we all got stuff. We all got life problems, money problems, relationship problems, and it's just like, okay, but that should fuel your work. That should fuel you to keep fighting harder to, because once you beat all that shit out, it's like, you got something beautiful going for yourself. So that will be my little inspiration of the week.
Yes.
Read the book. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Have a little self-pep talk.
Yeah.
A little self-evaluation.
Yeah. And don't let anything stop you. I mean, we only get one life, as they say.
Absolutely.
YOLO. YOLO, bitches.
YOLO.
Okay.
All right, guys. We will see you next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Femme Regard Podcast. If you like what you hear, tune in next time for more tips on the filmmaking business and insightful conversations with industry professionals over tea. We can only grow with your support, so please subscribe, share, rate, and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. If you leave us a great comment, we might give you a shout out on the show. For more on us, check us out at femregard.com.